17-year-old Alissa Marie Turney was
disappearance and presumed death of 17-year-old Alissa Turney.
Alissa Turney hasn't been seen in more than 7 years.
Just a bombshell arrest tonight, almost 20 years after Phoenix teen Alissa Turney vanished.
On May 17, 2001, 17-year-old Alissa Turney left school early and was never seen again. The only thing left behind? A note saying she was running away, and a family with questions that would go unanswered for nearly 2 decades. But the truth, as it would later unfold, was far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. This is the story of Alissa Turney, a high school student from Phoenix, Arizona, whose disappearance became a twisted tale of control, surveillance, and a sister's relentless pursuit of justice. Who was Alissa? Alissa Turney was like most teenagers. She had friends, a part-time job, and plans for the future. She lived with her stepfather, Michael Turney, and her younger sister, Sarah. From the outside, things may have seemed normal, but behind closed doors, there were troubling signs. Michael Turney, a former law enforcement officer and electrician, was known to be extremely strict, even paranoid. He had cameras installed around the house, he recorded phone calls, and he even monitored Alissa's movements. Friends say Alissa often complained about feeling trapped, that Michael was controlling, that he'd show up to her work unexpectedly, and that he was obsessed with knowing her every move. Still, no one expected what would happen on the last day of her junior year.
He also said that she had some unusual sexual traits, and again, in talking to her boyfriend, this did not match with Alissa. He claimed to have taken jewelry off her body and given it to ex-girlfriends. They don't remember this happening.
The disappearance. On May 17, 2001, Michael Turney picked Alissa up from school early. According to him, they had argued, and she stormed off to her room. Later that day, he claimed he found a note in her room saying she was running away to California. He said she'd taken $300 and was gone without a trace. But something didn't add up. Her cell phone, makeup, and other personal items were all still there. She hadn't told any friends about leaving. And despite being a supposed runaway, Alissa never contacted anyone again, not even on holidays or birthdays. Michael reported her missing, but not right away. And when he did, he told police she'd gone to California, with no evidence. The case was quickly labeled a runaway. Case closed.
She told me one time that he tried sexually abusing her when she was younger.
What did she say happened?
Dad picked her up early from school one day, driving around. I think the story was pulled over somewhere in, an unoccupied area, some like desert area. And tried fooling around with her, and she got aggressive.
The investigation reopens. For years, the case went cold. No leads, no updates, just a family left wondering what really happened. That is, until Sarah Turney, Alissa's younger sister, began asking questions. Sarah was just 12 when Alissa disappeared. But as she grew older, she began to uncover disturbing details, including hundreds of hours of Michael's surveillance tapes. All but the footage from the day Alissa disappeared. When Sarah asked about it, Michael claimed it had been accidentally erased. Then things got even darker.
I go down there and essentially they sit me down and for 40 minutes tell me about how the man I thought he was. And then at the very end they say, and because your father hasn't cooperated, because he won't interview with us, because he won't give a handwriting sample, because he won't give DNA, we are raiding your home right now. We've gotten a search warrant and we're in there.
In 2008, the FBI raided Michael Turney's home. What they found was shocking. 19 pipe bombs, weapons, and a 90-page manifesto outlining a bizarre plot against the electrical union he believed was after him.
In 2008, Phoenix police served a search warrant on Turney's home in connection to Alissa's disappearance and ended up finding a home full of weapons and secret tapes.
They seized explosives, ammunition, and homemade silencers and arrested Turney, but they also discovered new video evidence showing Alissa. Police say Turney set up hidden cameras in and outside of the house to keep tabs on Alissa. He even recorded thousands of hours of phone calls.
You probably never stated. How's that for disgusting thought. I'm sorry. That's really gross to say about your own daughter.
But of all the tapes he had of Alissa, he never could tell Phoenix PD where the tape was from May 17th, 2001.
Mike is the only one who says that child returned to the home that day. He does not provide us with a videotape that shows her coming home.
And police learned even more horrifying details in their investigation.
She's spoken to her friends, she's spoken to other family members about being handcuffed, about being gagged, about being woken up with him on top of her, holding her down.
They also found no evidence that Alissa had ever made it to California. But despite all of this, Michael was only charged for the bombs, not for Alissa. Social media and break in the case. Sarah Turney took her fight for justice online. She launched a podcast, gave interviews, and used social media, especially TikTok, to share Alissa's story.
I'm like, making silly stuff about Alissa, but it catches fire. Like, my goodness, it caught wind so fast. And I never expected it, but I just continued to make content on TikTok and it continued to pick up. I mean, I have almost 1 million followers on there now, but it's been an amazing tool in getting justice for her.
So, mine and Alissa's father has been the only person of interest in Alissa's case for almost 10 years. Yet, the police have never interviewed him. So, I did it myself. And here's what he had to say when I asked him what happened to Alissa.
Be there at the deathbed, sir, and I'll give you all the honest answers you want to hear.
Why don't you give them to me now?
Because you got them now.
Then why are you making me this offer to go to your deathbed?
I don't know, Sarah. What are you looking for?
Yep. And when I went to the police and gave them the recording, do you know what the commander told me? Well, Sarah, he didn't confess to us. Please help me share this. This is insane and should never happen to anyone.
Her videos went viral, gathering millions of views and support from all over the world. Finally, in 2020, nearly 19 years later, authorities arrested Michael Turney and charged him with second-degree murder in Alissa's case. It was the breakthrough Sarah had been fighting for. But the trial would prove more complicated than anyone expected. The trial and aftermath. In 2023, the case went to trial. Prosecutors argued that Michael had murdered Alissa after years of abuse and control. But without a body, and with limited physical evidence, the defense painted it as a case built on speculation and circumstantial evidence.
But on Thursday, the jury heard revealing testimony through phone calls, recorded phone calls, where they heard not only Alissa's voice, but also a pretty jaw-dropping call from Mike Turney, where he is revealing his disdain for dealing with his daughter, Alissa.
Any day today's a bad day. Sarah don't want to go to school. Alyssa's supposed to go in late. She lost her wallet. I'll give her basically an alternative. Cops, where she can bond back with me and the family and stop being such a distance this family from all the problems we've had from her boyfriend. And she said no. So for the first time in my life, I've got to take a kid that I love and call the cops. Probably going to lose the house. Everything else is going to be over because of some stupid ass bitch. More than likely she's going to run away anyway after she gets busted. They're not going to put her in jail this time, I almost guarantee it. In other words, my life sucks. And it's just terrible. I can have a good time with Sarah so long as Alissa doesn't care. She's always in there with something. I don't give a what it is. And now I'm going to have to put up with and deal with something that's doing all kinds of to this family.
While that audio played in court, some of the jurors looked stunned. Sarah, the sister of Alissa, she broke down into tears in the gallery. Her brother James was sitting next to her, tried to console her. Then the prosecution played another recorded call for this jury. It was placed about a month before Alissa went missing. The teen was speaking to her aunt Lynette. This was after a disagreement with her father over her boyfriend.
I'd be freaking out with us. It's my dad. What do you expect? Huh? What do you expect? He's always like that. I know, but he hasn't done that in like many years. Because you haven't been around him.
The next big question in this case is, will the defendant testify? I was watching his face really closely when the judge asked his team, were they planning to call him? He showed no visible reaction, as his attorney said that they are going to reserve that conversation until after the state rests its case.
Shockingly, Michael Turney was found not guilty. The courtroom was silent. Sarah was devastated, but not defeated. More than 20 years after Alissa Turney vanished, there are still no clear answers. Her body has never been found. No one has been held accountable. And the question remains: what really happened to Alissa? If you know something, say something. And if this story moved you, share it. Alissa deserves to be remembered. Not as a case file, but as a daughter, a sister, a friend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into stories that matter. And if you want to support Alissa's case, follow Sarah Turney on social media and check out her podcast, Voices for Justice.